Following the successful conduct of the voters' registration exercise, the Electoral Commission wishes to announce the next stage of the electoral process, that is the exhibition of the voters' register. This exhibition is essential in that it provides an opportunity for Ghanaians to safeguard the credibility of the voters' register. As with the Electoral Commission's media engagement prior to the recent limited online registration exercise in the carved districts of the referendum areas, this press briefing forms part of the Commission's efforts to promote public education and sensitization towards all its activities. And we'd like to thank you so much for taking time to join us today. Distinguished guests and ladies of the press, pursuant to the Public Elections Registration of Voters Regulations, 2016, CI 91, Section 23, 2A and B, the Commission shall cause the provisional register of voters of each polling station to be displayed for public inspection at the registration centers for the period specified by the Commission in the Gazette notice. As per the notice, the Electoral Commission has slated the exhibition of the voters' register from the 25th of October to the 31st of October 2018. And now to the exhibition process. The exhibition will take place in only the 47 districts in the 6 regions to be created. All polling stations within the carved areas for the referendum will be designated as exhibition centers for the display of the provisional register for public inspection. All exhibition centers within the carved areas will be open from 7 a.m. each day and will close at 6 p.m. each day from the 25th of October to the 31st of October as specified earlier. And it will include Saturdays and Sundays. During this period of exhibition, both the 2018 Provisional Voters Register and the 2016 Voters Register would be placed at the exhibition centers for prospective voters to verify their details as captured and make requests for amendments or insertions where necessary. Other lists which will be placed at the exhibition centers are as follows: the exception or exclusions list and the multiple registration lists. All prospective voters whose names, photos, and other details appear on the exceptions lists or the multiple registration lists will not have their names and photographs in the main lists. And I'd like to repeat, all prospective voters whose details, names, and photographs appear on the exceptions list or the multiple registration lists will not have their names and photographs on the main lists. Now to what happens at the exhibition centers. Applicants or voters who visit the exhibition centers are expected to request for any of the following information. 1, the inclusion of omitted names. 2, the removal of names of unqualified voters from the register. 3, the removal of names of deceased voters from the register. 4, the replacement of poor quality or damaged voter ID cards. 5, to correct any misspelled names. 6, the correction of any wrong registration center codes as a result of clerical error. And finally, the correction of any other wrong registration details, namely age, sex, as a result of clerical error. It is important to note that any person eligible to register as a voter may raise objections to names of unqualified persons on the voters' register at any of the exhibition centers. I now come to the reasons for objection to unqualified names on the provisional voters register. Any person eligible to register as a voter may object to an unqualified name on any of the voters register. A person is unqualified if he or she is below the age of 18, deceased, not a Ghanaian citizen, not of sound mind, not a resident or ordinarily resident in an electoral area, has registered multiple times, is impersonating someone else, or has been convicted for electoral offenses. It is important to note that persons with or without voters' ID cards can be assisted to check their names and other particulars on the provisional voters register at the exhibition centers. However, those without ID cards cannot effect changes to their personal data. I now come to exhibition officials. An exhibition supervisor and 2 deputy exhibition supervisors for each of the districts, as well as 1 exhibition officer for each exhibition center, have been recruited and trained for the impending exhibition exercise. All logistics for the exhibition exercise have been procured and will be delivered and have been delivered to the districts in readiness for the exhibition exercise. Publicity on the exhibition of the voters register. To ensure effective public education and publicity of the exercise in the carved areas, the Commission has taken the following important steps. District electoral officers who are involved in this exercise have been briefed and have been engaging with public interest and community-based organizations, such as faith-based organizations, schools, churches, mosques, and other similar organizations in their areas of operation to explain the modalities of the exhibition exercise. 2, the district electoral officers and the exhibition supervisors have also made the necessary arrangements with local FM stations, wherever they are available in their respective areas, to take part in radio interviews and panel discussions on the highlights of and the arrangements for the exercise. 3, the districts have also been provided with commandeered vehicles, which are mounted with public address systems to undertake publicity. Street announcers have therefore been temporarily employed for all the districts in the referendum enclaves to announce and publicize the arrangements for the exercise. 4, different kinds of pictorial educational posters which depict the various elements of the processes of the exhibition exercise have also been posted at vantage points in all the communities in the carved-out areas. Finally, radio jingles with informative and educational messages on the exercise have been produced in English and translated into some of the main languages, including Ewe, Akan, Dagbani, Nzima, and Hausa, these are languages that are spoken in the referendum enclaves. These jingles will be played on radio and indeed have started being played on radio and local FM stations before and throughout the exercise. Now to the accredited persons. In addition to the registered voters who may come to check their names and other particulars on any of the voters' registers at the exhibition center, the following persons are allowed to have access to the center. 1, the exhibition supervisor and his or her deputies. 2, members and staff of the Electoral Commission. Monitors should, however, carry accreditation cards. 3, persons accompanying registered voters who have any form of disability. Persons authorized by the Commission, including party representatives, journalists, and other observers. These persons must, however, show authorization. Other qualified persons who wish to inspect the names and particulars of registered voters. Friends of the media, by this press briefing, it is the Electoral Commission's expectation that the public has been duly informed of the exhibition of the voters' register. The Commission therefore encourages active participation on the part of all Ghanaians in this very important exercise.